Hi Sagittarius, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading. Today we have a tarot reading. Let's see what we have. And we have, uh, yeah, I feel like this is the Two of Swords. And the devil's in the back here, and this man is kind of walking on a dark street, and he's looking back at the devil. So this is a law of attraction deck. So this is actually the Two of Wands, not the Two of Swords. Wow, look at that. So, they look similar, right? But the Two of Wands is, it's a crossroads, and that's what he's doing here. But we're going to talk more about it because this deck is kind of trippy. Now we have somebody who is like a bully. We have this big, tall guy, and look like cowboy kind of guy, right? Really big, and he's, being kind of mean to this much smaller man who's wearing like a tie, kind of like an office guy or professional guy. But this guy's big and brawny, and yeah, he's messing with him. This is a Nine of Swords, so there could be a bully possibly, or somebody was kind of a bully. Let's have a look at those cards. We have the Two of Wands to start that. So let's see. And this is in restlessness, the Two of Wands. So remember here, the devil is like, it's a shadow on the wall, but the devil's kind of following him, kind of, his shadow, sort of. And this is, in order to obtain what you want, you will have to face radical change or stop hesitating, possible sadness or regrets. So, this talks about somebody who needs to change in order to get what they want, Sagittarius, and stop hesitating. Somebody might be hesitating here. Maybe they bullied you over here. Let's have a look at the Nine of Swords. The number 9. And this is mortification. This is about somebody who feels mortified, quarrel, unhappiness, malice. Your dream can come true only if you demonstrate strong willpower. So somebody's weak right here in this reading, right? And they might feel bad for what they've done because this card can talk about malice. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, they might have argued with you and they were really mean. That's a possibility in this reading. Let's see what we have. Maybe they talked down to you, right? Let's get some cards here, Sagittarius, from the astrology cards. Sagittarius card, optimism, exploration, and freedom. Maybe somebody has their freedom in this reading, but this is about somebody who is like hopeful, but they need more courage here. It does look like that. And, they could be exploring something new when we have freedom, right? And then we have the Pisces card. Very cool. Intimacy, intuition, and compassion. Somebody may need you to be compassionate here. It's a possibility. Now, I feel like somebody's trusting their intuition in this reading big time too. Let's see what else we have. And yeah, we have the volcano. And are these reversed? No, they're not. And the volcano talks about something that, these don't really read in the reverse though. This talks about something that is erupting. This can talk about lust, like it can. And something might be ending in this reading, or something has ended. But this can talk about like sexual passion that is like erupting. Definitely could. And we have the Lantern. And why are these reversed here? We have the Lantern. Okay. So, this talks about not having the answers here, seeking guidance about something that's very kind of explosive or sexual, right? And something, the volcano in the reverse can talk about something where there is no passion, right? And yeah, let's see what else. We have the Toad. This is humor or something that is gross. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. So let's see what these cards have to say. Let's get one more card for Sagittarius. And we have the Love card. Here's Sappho. So yeah, see, that's what I thought. Somebody wants to explore something very hopeful, at least in their heart, with you. They probably bullied you over here or humiliated you in some way. They could have with any type of behavior. I feel like now they are trusting their intuition, and they're trying to return with compassion. It does really look like that. Yeah, and it's possible here that In this reading with this lantern and volcano both reversed, this can mean that if somebody has set themselves free, it's free from a situation that does not have like sexual passion, and they didn't have their light bulb on, kind of like they weren't trusting their intuition, the lantern, because it's reversed, like they didn't know themselves, something like that, because it talks about not knowing yourself with the lantern, like not really, yeah, not having intuitive guidance, basically. The bottom of the deck here is the Empress, Sagittarius. So let's see what else we have. And if you want a psychic reading, I'm always checking for accuracy, you guys. That's how I do it. And they're a lot of fun. If you don't trust somebody, or I don't like to be negative, but maybe you just met them, or or they just seem so mysterious to you. Or maybe you don't like the way they're behaving, something like that. And for you too, it can give guidance on that, on your own situation as well. We typically do them on a video call. They're very personal and engaging, and you can get a regular video sent to you if you want. Not on a video call. The tarot cards are done the same way. Either or for you. Mystic Sense has a free 5-minute psychic reading, and you can get a past life reading with me, which really helps you move forward with more confidence. It's very empowering because it alerts you to the karma that you're holding on to, and it's much easier to let go after that. Yeah, it's a fun. It's not so much fun. It's very interesting and mystical. It can be fun, depending, right? But very interesting, very mystical, and liberating. Yeah, freeing. Here we start with the 7 of Cups, and we have the 4 of Wands, the Moon, the 9 of Cups, the King of Cups. So a choice has already been made in this reading, but the Moon is here indicating fear or confusion, doubts. Yeah. Yep. And, yeah, hold on one second. I want to see that 2 of Wands one more time. Yeah, this is restlessness. Yeah, exactly. In order to get... Yeah, see, this talks about facing the devil or paying the piper. This man here, he wants something to come true for him, but he's going to have to face up to something. And most likely kind of bullied you here, or thought they were, I don't know, better, bigger than you. Because this card as well, the 9 of Swords, where we see the man bullying the much smaller man. This guy's a big coward. He's like a big lug, right? But that talks about regret. So somebody has regret here, and they love you. They certainly do here. Maybe you guys had a lot of fun together. We have the card of the Toad, talks about humor. But in the reading, we might have the King of Cups, a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And in the crossing energy, when it's next to the Moon, it's more like a challenge, right? So somebody had options. This person made a choice. That's why something could have ended, or they have changed possibly. But, there was a choice here. There was some type of option. And I feel like the choice is to attempt to have a new beginning in love with you, or to return, or right? And so here's the 4 of Wands. It is a challenge because this is 7 of Cups can be like confusion. It can. And here's the Moon talking about fears and doubts and being very emotional. That's what the Moon represents, the 4th house. And this is about our emotion, our emotional mind, our feelings, and, what kind of provides emotional stability, right? The family, the mother, or anything that can provide emotional stability, right? That depends on your own Moon, right? If it's in Taurus, then what makes you feel safe is financial security. And, in any other sign, it means something else. It does. So let's see here. And you are this person's wish. Here's the 9 of Cups right here. So this person is not sure if they're going to have their wish come true here. Right? Yeah, let's see what else we have. Maybe you were a third party. You could have been, because the Empress is a number 3, right? I mean, she could be a lot of things. She could be, a respected mother. She can be the mistress, the third party. And, she represents Venus, which represents both Taurus and Libra. So, for Libra, it represents love and beauty. And for Taurus, it represents financial stability, really, right? The good things in life, possessions. Yeah. So let's see what else we have. But it's kind of a has a lot of meaning, the Empress. But it can be about making my dreams come true in love, for sure. And fertility, right? She fertility sometimes talks about somebody who's pregnant. Abundance as well. So she is in her abundance. She's sitting in the meadow, and it's quite abundant there. Here's the waterfall, right, coming down over here. These beautiful trees are around her, and she's got all these jewels on her. The jewels on her tiara, which represents Taurus, in my opinion, there, right? But yeah, so let's see. And also, we have the concern here is that this person is concerned with or carrying a heavy burden. They might have laid it down, and they might be feeling it's too late. It's possible because it sits next to the Page of Pentacles. This person wants a new start with you. They have a lot of hope, but they also have doubts here. In other words, I really hope, and I really hope, and they're trying to have faith in this, but with the moon showing up here, it looks like there's doubts. Now, there could be, and fear too, there could be, because they're both afraid here. This guy's afraid of the devil, the shadow of the devil. It could be afraid of their own shadow, like their shadow side, what they've done. And over here is this little man is afraid of this big kind of lug guy who looks like, maybe he doesn't read past the 4th grade, right? And it's possible, but not that we're really talking about education, but we're talking about somebody who's kind of thuggy right here. So, they both talk about kind of a shadow side possibly, or bullying, or saying something like that. So the concern is the 10 of Wands for the Page of Pentacles. They want a new start with you. They do. They are confused whether or not that's really going to come to fruition with this moon here in the root, right? And their wish right next to the moon. And so, and this is a wish in love, for sure it is. We have Sappho right here, and she's showing her boobs right here. She is, right? And it says, what does it say? You're burning. Wow, something like burning. Yeah, burning with love, for sure. And this person is. I would definitely say that for sure. Something could have poofed out over here with this volcano reverse. Just died. Poof. Right? Now, in the environment here, there's this energy of reflection and kind of dreaming, especially underneath the moon, right? The moon can be about dreams, but when I say dreaming, I mean kind of like closing their eyes and wow, Sagittarius, that type of dreaming, like being very dreamy is my point. So, that looks like it's going on in this reading for sure. Now, this 4 of Swords, it does speak of reflection. It can talk about healing. This person may want to heal the situation with you. And we have 2 4s here that are together. So this is about, and here's the 4 of Wands. Wow. So I'm only, these are, right? You have mostly all the 4s, but this is about stability, these 4s. And it's like a third of the reading here. This person wants stability with you. Yeah, and they don't feel, they probably didn't provide any in the past. You probably couldn't get, maybe you couldn't get 2 words out of them, Sagittarius. I don't know, right? But there's something like that going on here. Yeah, there is. And so let's look at this card right here. The 4 of Wands sitting in the crossing energy. Now, before we clarify that, down here we have this 4 of Cups. And, they're hoping that you're not going to reject them. This is a card of rejection and disappointment. Yeah, they're really hoping that for sure as it sits underneath this wish, right? Yeah. And let's get a card, though, on the 4 of Wands. And it shows up with the 8 of Cups. So, this sits in the challenge in this reading. They might have walked away from something that is, maybe it was a marriage even. But there's something, I believe, that might have been stable, sort of, but it probably fizzled out with the volcano reversed. Yeah. if this person was already in a relationship and they've walked away, it's because it lacked passion. And they see all the passion with you, Sagittarius, and probably humor, right? Yeah. I mean, for me, humor is really important. I'm a Sag too, but for sure, because if somebody doesn't have a sense of humor, there's actually people like that on this planet. I'm not kidding. You're like, what? Yeah, I mean, if they don't have a sense of humor, then I'm out. That's how it is. You have to have fun in this life, in my opinion. There's too many things already to be serious about, right? I feel like. Now, the Nine of Cups, and this is external to you, right? So here's the showing that you're their wish. The King of Cups is how they see themselves. It could be a man who is in love. It could be a woman who's in love. And we have it with the Three of Cups. Yeah, this person is seeing themselves as wanting to reconcile with you, most likely. Or you bring them a lot of joy. And this toad card can talk about humor, but that's joy. It is in one aspect or in one way. Now, I feel like this person really wants to reconcile with you, and that's it. And they're confused over here if you're going to allow it. Right? Yeah. Now, the Page of Pentacles sitting in the past, and we get a card on it, Six of Cups. Yeah, this is somebody from your past, Sagittarius, that wants to come back. Yeah, they do. That's right. Wow. Yeah, Jupiter in June. Jupiter is going to be your planet. Your natal planet will be moving out of your seventh house of relationships into another house of relationships, into the eighth house of intimacy. So, this is a cycle, another year, another cycle for you to like get together with somebody or improve possibly or expand a relationship. And that's what this person wants. Yeah. Now, the Ten of Wands is the concerns. It's burdening to them. I feel like this person realized your value or your worth in the past, right? Meanwhile, when they were with you or you knew them, they were kind of punking you here in some way, right? I just got off the phone with my cousin, and she's she happens to be a Capricorn. But the point about it is that, she's seeing somebody who is like at about a tenth of her, somebody at a much lower level, and he actually insults her and like tries to use her. And I'm going, dude, yeah, you know what? Kick him to the curb. And this might have went on here. It's possible in the past, right? Now, Ten of Wands is the concern. We'll get a card on that, and that, yeah, and it's with the Knight of Swords reversed. Yeah, see, this person looks like they were behaving very poorly. That's how that looks. They could have dropped somebody as well, because the Knight of Swords reversed. Sometimes it can mean that you've kind of cut somebody out, right? But it talks about like aggressive behavior usually, right? And we already saw the big kind of, mean dummy guy here, right? I mean, because, if you're picking on somebody that much smaller and you're hurting, and he's hurting this guy, he's hurting his feelings for sure, right? So if you're doing that, then, definitely Knight of Swords energy reversed, right? Now, yeah, they're carrying, this is regret right here. Now, they could have cut somebody out here too, and that's why they're carrying a burden as well. It could be somebody third party external to this. It's possible. Now, the Four of Swords is in their, showing up in their environment. Here they are dreaming, really praying most likely that you won't turn them down. Here is the Four of Cups, right? There's a rejection card. We're going to get a card on bottom of the deck here as I am ready to pull a card is the Ace of Cups. And it's here with the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Lovers. Yeah, see, they've already made a choice here. So let's get a card on the Four of Swords, and we have it with the Nine of Wands. Yeah, so this person, I feel like they've already been hurt here. They could have hurt themselves. They could have went through some type of a big argument with somebody else, or a relationship that kind of went down, but they've gone through something here, and they are still being resilient, and they're trying to plug forward so they can have this new beginning and make their wish come true, right? And the Pisces card is here. It's not mentioning this. It does mention intimacy. Yeah, Pisces can represent bed pleasure, right? Well, why not, right? But uh, that's a nice thing, right? But this also represents making your dreams come true in love. Pisces is about dreams, and nothing is really impossible. And this is how a lot of Pisceans feel, that that all is possible. Basically, it's almost like a little dreamy energy, like fantasy sort of, but some things can really come true. They're kind of hopeful in that way, right? Optimistic. They are ruled by Jupiter, which is Sagittarius's planet as well. So here we have the Four of Cups. They're hoping you're not going to kind of dump on them, Sagittarius, or not dump on them, bail. This person's hoping that you're not going to reject them. Yeah, they're just, yeah. And here they are, the Nine of Wands next to it, looking away, almost like, God, I couldn't bear if Sagittarius would reject me. Yeah, this looks like somebody grew up in the school of hard knocks. That's how this looks, right? Yeah, like the hardest way to grow up and to wake up and to mature by losing somebody, you, or by realizing how important you are, but like latently, right? Here's a Knight of Wands showing up in the potential outcome with let's get a card out, with the Hierophant. This is about this person taking action. I feel like this person wants to marry you. That's why we have the Four of Wands, another marriage card in the crossing energy. As they walk away from somebody, they could have walked away from you in the past. They definitely could have. They could have walked away from you and kind of were shitty about it as well. But this Hierophant, I feel like this person is trying to take action on everything that they believe in. The Hierophant is about having faith in, having faith in what you really believe in. So I'm going to end this reading, Sagittarius. If you guys want it, it's another great reading. I believe it is. If you want to get a reading with me, lots of fun. Check out the description box below. Thanks so much, you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the little bell so you can be notified of my uploads. All right. Thank you so much.